the radical Democrats with massive turnout on Tuesday, November 5th. The way you win is to swamp them. If we swamp them, they can't cheat. It just doesn't work out. But if you can't make it, you need to make a plan, register, and vote any way possible. We got to get your vote. So with your vote, we will win a victory the likes of which no one has ever seen before. We will evict crooked Joe Biden from the White House, and we will take back our country on November 5th, 2024, the most important day in the history of our country. That's what it's going to go down as. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Iowa Attorney General Brenna Bird.
Good evening, Milwaukee. My name is Brenna Bird, and I am the Attorney General of the great state of Iowa. A few years ago, I was a local prosecutor locking up bad guys. But in 2022, I ran for Attorney General and beat the incumbent Democrat who was first elected when I was just 2 years old. We won because Iowans were ready for an Attorney General who would protect them, not the criminals. An Attorney General who would stand up to Joe Biden and the radical Democrats. And an Attorney General who would defend our constitutional freedoms. But perhaps more than anything, Iowa voters wanted an Attorney General who would back the blue. Unfortunately, Democrats like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have made life miserable for law enforcement. They treat police like criminals and criminals like victims. And tragically, many crime victims feel abandoned by a justice system that doesn't seem to put their interests first. They deserve better than what these defund the police Democrats deliver. Yet the radical left believes in handouts, not handcuffs. Democrats like Harris use words like reimagine the police. They're probably imagining more DEI programs for the police. Harris even said that putting more cops on the street wouldn't make communities safer. American families disagree. Never forget. The Democratic Party is the party of defunding the police. They said it, they mean it, and they can't wiggle out of it. Republicans get justice for victims, and we put criminals where they belong, in jail. That's why we need to elect President Donald J. Trump. President Trump knows that keeping Americans safe isn't a 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. job. And rank and file cops know that President Trump, he has their back. It touched our hearts when earlier this year, President Trump attended the wake of a fallen New York City police officer. We all owe heroes like Officer Jonathan Diller a debt we can never repay. President Trump knows this, and he shows his gratitude. Joe Biden was also in New York City that day, but instead of honoring our heroes, he attended a glitzy fundraiser with Barack Obama and Bill Clinton. None of them went to pay their respects. That day, we saw Democrat priorities, and we saw Donald Trump's priorities, and we saw that Trump's values are our values. I urge everyone listening to stand with law enforcement and vote to make America safe again. I urge you to vote for Donald Trump on November 5th. Thank you, Milwaukee, and God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome former Governor of South Carolina and Ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley.
My fellow Republicans, President Trump asked me to speak to this convention in the name of unity.
Here we go. Let's get the other side of my ear. Fair use, by the way. Fair
It
use.
was a gracious invitation, and I was happy to accept. I'll start by making one thing perfectly clear. Donald Trump has my strong endorsement, period. Our country is at a critical moment. We have a choice to make. For more than a year, I said a vote for Joe Biden is a vote for President Kamala Harris. After seeing the debate, everyone knows it's true. If we have 4 more years of Biden or a single day of Harris, our country will be badly worse off. For the sake of our nation, we have to go with Donald Trump. But there's more to it than that. We should acknowledge that there are some Americans who don't agree with Donald Trump 100% of the time. I happen to know some of them. And I want to speak to them tonight. My message to them is simple. You don't have to agree with Trump 100% of the time to vote for it. Take it from me, I haven't always agreed with President Trump. But we agree more often than we disagree. We agree on keeping America strong. We agree on keeping America safe. And we agree that Democrats have moved so far to the left that they're putting our freedoms in danger. I'm here tonight because we have a country to save. And a unified Republican Party is essential for saving her. For those who have some doubts about President Trump, I want to tell you a few things about the commander-in-chief I know and worked with. As ambassador to the United Nations, I had a front row seat to his national security policies. We sure could use those again. Think about it. When Barack Obama was president, Vladimir Putin invaded Crimea. With Joe Biden as president, Putin invaded all of Ukraine. But when Donald Trump was president, Putin did nothing. No invasions. No invasions, no wars. That was no accident. Putin didn't attack Ukraine because he knew Donald Trump was tough. A strong president doesn't start wars. A strong president prevents wars. Then look at the Middle East. Every problem in that part of the world can be laid at the feet of Iran. The dictators who chant death to America are the bankrollers and weapons suppliers for Hamas and Hezbollah. They're behind the barbaric massacres and the hostage taking. Once again, compare Trump and Biden. Trump got us out of the insane Iran nuclear deal. He imposed the toughest sanctions ever on Iran. And he eliminated the arch terrorist Qasem Soleimani. Iran was too weak to start any wars. They knew Trump meant business and they were afraid. And then there's Joe Biden. He lifted the sanctions. He begged them to get back into the nuclear deal. He surrendered in Afghanistan. He sent every possible sign of weakness. Even now, while Hamas is still holding Americans hostage, Biden is pressuring Israel instead of the terrorists. Between Israel and Hamas, Donald Trump is clear about who is our friend and who is our enemy. Then look at the border. It's the single biggest threat Americans face. Under Joe Biden, migrants are coming into our country by the thousands every day. We have no idea who they are, where they end up, or what they plan to do. And let me remind you, Kamala had one job, and that was to fix the border. Now imagine her in charge of the entire country. Under Donald Trump, we didn't have the border disaster we have today, and we won't when he is president again. I was proud to serve America in President Trump's cabinet, and I'll tell you something you won't hear from the critics. He appreciated advice and input. Americans were well served by his presidency, even if they didn't agree with him on all things. Now, to my fellow Republicans, we must not only be a unified party, we must also expand our party. We are so much better when we are bigger. We are stronger when we welcome people into our party who have different backgrounds and experiences. And right now, we need to be strong to save America. This is a defining moment. not only for our party, but for our country. Our fellow Americans are fearful right now. Families are suffering from inflation and wages that don't keep up with prices. Young people are being indoctrinated to think our country is racist and evil. The Jewish community is facing an obscene rise in anti-Semitism. Too many minorities are trapped in communities devastated by crime. Our foreign enemies win when they see Americans hate each other. They see that today, whether it's on college campuses or in a field in Butler, Pennsylvania.
Oh, Lord.
But we can conquer those fears with strength and unity. No president can fix all of our problems alone. We have to do this together. America has an amazing ability to self-correct. In this moment, we have a chance to put aside our differences and focus on what unites us and strengthens our country. Let us join together as a party. Let us come together as a people, as one country, strong and proud. Let us show our children and the world that even on our worst day, we are blessed to live in America. God bless you. Thank you. God bless the United States of America.
Newsmax is out there. Why is this not surprising me? All right, y'all, this is another edition of Random Topic Thursdays. I'm the host with the most, Random Topic Tuesdays, rather. I'm your host with the most, G Boot 2786. Thank you if you're watching on Rumble, on YouTube, or X. Get this party started, but y'all know what we like to do first. We got to get to a commercial. Whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today. But if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on through our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace. All right, y'all, that was the 1936 German, the 2024 Republican National Convention. I am just going through, so it's still playing. So now the next speaker is, I'm not playing all of this. I don't have this stuff. This one I am.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis.
Mr. Satan. It's interesting they bring Nikki Haley out first to introduce him
Joe
And
Biden
DeSantis
back to
is
his
the one.
basement and let's send Donald Trump
DeSantis is
back
the
to
one
the White House.
who's been pushing a lot of those programs, changing things up, curriculums, especially when
Life
it
was
comes to
more
slavery.
affordable when Donald
They don't
Trump
want
was
that in the books
president.
anymore.
Our border was safer under the Trump administration, and our country was respected when Donald Trump was our commander in chief.
Right.
Joe Biden has failed this nation. As a
I'm gonna exit this
veteran,
one out.
I was a
I'm gonna exit that out. So, all right, I'm gonna get to what I want to talk about tonight. What's up, family? So you seeing the Republican National Convention go on, and they're having their speakers talk. Of course, Nikki Haley and DeSantis spoke. DeSantis is speaking now. What's up, y'all? I'm not gonna make this a very long show. You know, I'm a little bit under the weather, but I said I was gonna come on for y'all. Shout out to Danielle Meyer. Danielle says, no matter what either side does, America will never return to the old days. We're in a time of reveal, and there's major shift happening, and many of our people are waking up. Absolutely. Many people are half waking up, although there are a lot of people who are still asleep as to what's going on in this country and the problems and effects that we're having. But I can honestly tell you, I prefer who speaks better. Obviously, who won that? Like we saw with that debate, we know Donald Trump won that debate hands down. Joe Biden does not look good at all with it, and we know that based off the assassination attempt that occurred this past Saturday over the weekend, Biden has canceled his whole campaigning, so they're not having him come out at all with that. And we're going to tie that into what we're talking about tonight, since they have the convention going on. The Secret Service agent, I'm not going to say agent, the Secret Service chief, her name is Kimberly Cheatle. She has been under heavy scrutiny ever since the assassination attempt. Many people have been calling for her to step down. She's made it abundantly clear that she's not stepping down from it. She's not resigning. Then it turns out supposedly Kimberly Cheatle actually, I guess, well, of course, she was picked by the Biden administration, but also, well, which doesn't surprise me. Now, she says that the agency will participate in assassination attempt investigation amid questions over procedures. My thing is how do you trust the investigation, and how good is and thorough is that investigation going to be? Remember, there was an investigation of John F. Kennedy and what happened with the Secret Service. And we know, I showed you the video, everybody saw it, when JFK's Secret Service was called away. That was clearly an inside job. And I don't think necessarily, because I don't have that evidence, that Trump's thing was staged. But it doesn't surprise me. I wouldn't put it past me. And I don't know the evidence. I got to be careful with my words because I don't want to end up like Alex Jones. But it very well could have been an inside job, just by the fact they have new video that's come out where people were warning the actual police officers of the guy, crooks on top of the roof across from across on that farm field back on Saturday. They were warning them. There are videos of it. And usually the Secret Service, they have to, when the president or any presidential candidate comes, weeks and out, they have to secure and scan the area. But since we're talking about it, and this was one of my first topics I was going to get into, so there are calls for Kimberly Cheatle. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, to step down. Although she said it was unacceptable as to what happened on that Saturday. They haven't learned from Ronald Reagan, his assassination attempt. And She did an interview, a sit-down interview with ABC, and we're gonna play a clip of that. So fair use, by the way. Hold on. I hate when these videos do that. Sorry. I hate when I'm showing a video and wanting to play it. It doesn't play the volume. That's why I don't really like messing with Facebook as much as I used to. So hold on.
Down with her as the director explains who's responsible for it happening.
What was your reaction when you saw the events unfold on Saturday?
Shock, and then concern, obviously, for the former president. This is an event that should have never happened.
Who is most responsible for this happening?
What I would say is that the Secret Service is responsible for the protection of the former president.
So the buck stops with you?
The buck stops with me. I am the director of the Secret Service. It was unacceptable, and it's something that shouldn't happen again.
The president and Homeland Security Secretary said today they had 100% confidence in you, but there are some members of Congress calling on you to resign.
I appreciate the Secretary's comments, and we're going to continue to be transparent and communicate with people.
Do you plan to stay on? Absolutely.
I do plan to stay on.
A law enforcement officer breaks down the flaws in security at the Donald Trump.
I come out, if I get win, and the first thing I'm doing when I'm getting in that office, she's fired. No ifs, ands, or buts. She almost got me killed. It would have been bad had that happened. But she's gone.
Campaign rally. He is a former Beaver County SWAT team member and a tactical sniper who was assigned to Secret Service details in the past.
A failure.
That is how Sam Piccaninny grades security at Donald Trump's campaign rally Saturday. He reviewed.
Did he say his name is Sam Piccaninny? Nick, listen, I gotta hear that again. Oh, wasn't even trying to play this video. It played automatically. Did he say his name was Piccaninny or Piccany?
Service details in the past.
A failure.
That is how Sam Piccaninny grades security at Donald Trump's campaign rally Saturday. He reviews video with Pittsburgh's Action News 4. Piccaninny says the United States Secret Service coordinates security.
Ultimately, the Secret Service is in charge. All other law enforcement agencies are supporting.
First flaw, the shooter had unimpeded access to a rooftop building within shooting distance.
We see him on that rooftop. In past details that you've worked with Secret Service, there would have normally been someone in law enforcement on that roof prior to him getting there,
Or somebody on a roaming patrol at that building.
preventing him from even climbing up in the first place.
I mean, that building should have been totally secured so nobody could use it.
Piccaninny says the safety perimeter should have been pushed back to 500 yards. He says it was only 150 yards at the rally. And then he says the response should have been overwhelming after alleged shooter Thomas Crooks was spotted with his rifle by civilians.
Okay, so now we're looking at these folks right here. They see something suspicious.
Yes.
When and how should law enforcement react to this?
Oh, there should have been, once law enforcement received notification and it was brought to somebody's attention, right off the bat, that intelligence should have been relayed to the snipers. There should have been somebody immediately dispatched to the area, not just one person, a fleet of law enforcement to saturate that area.
Piccaninny also says that once the shooter was spotted, the start of the campaign rally should have been delayed until he was apprehended. In Butler County, Sheldon Ingram, Pittsburgh's Action News 4.
Sam Piccaninny. But I would bet they had fun with him at school, his teacher. Just y'all imagine being a teacher after Brown versus Board of Education. You had a kid or forced busing, and you had a kid there named Sam Piccaninny. Come on up. I'm going to have fun with you. Oh, damn it. I thought you were a Piccaninny for a second. That's your name? I'll call you Sammy P. I don't think it is. The way it's spelled. You saw that many N's, Danielle? You think it's a mispronunciation? Yeah. So she's not stepping down. The New York Post put an article up saying she should step down. Like they put a whole, New York Post goes, that's white supremacists all day. Not that I'm defending the Secret Service director. They're saying, they came up with all types of stuff about her, how she got her job because she knew Jill Biden. They're calling for her to resign. Like literally calling for her to resign. Now, she had served in the Secret Service before in the Clinton administration for 27 years. They say she's well liked by the future first lady and her most senior aides. Why would they say future first lady? She is the first lady. Oh, before I guess she met her during the Obama-Biden administration. Look at it. They got Pennsylvania dams. They put this out. There was some tweets out about by some people who were upset Trump was not X'd. Former President Trump wasn't X'd. And I'm never going to condone violence. I'm never going to get on here or anything and say I think this person deserved that. Even if I disagree with them politically, I would never say Donald Trump deserved to die because I don't like him. I don't go through something like that. No, that's not something you do. And I even be careful with my words here because you say anything, they'll construe it as me inciting violence or something, and that's not what we're doing. Yeah, they're calling for it. Yeah, look at this article right here, though. I'm gonna wind it back. Same New York Post, but look at this. The New York Post editorial. The entire New York Post put an article out saying she should be fired. Read this. Kim Cheatle must resign or get fired. The near assassination of former President Donald Trump is the Secret Service's most stunning failure in decades. That's the opinion of her boss, Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, who says, when I say that something like this cannot happen, we are speaking of a failure. He said Monday on CNN. On ABC, it was a direct line of sight that to the former president should not occur. The total security breakdown at Trump's Butler, PA rally, which came an inch from killing the ex-pres and dictate Corey Caparatore's life with two other civilians put in critical condition, is on her, no matter what scapegoats her minions offer up. Despicably, she so far refused to accept blame, with the Secret Service instead faulting local police for failing to secure the critical rooftop. As if officers in rural Pennsylvania are supposed to step up when the professionals charged with protecting an ex and likely future president don't do their jobs. She certainly doesn't need to stay in the job to testify before Congress next week about what happened and what went wrong Saturday. Not that she's the only one facing questions. The Post has learned that she got the directorship thanks to her close relationship with First Lady Jill Biden after serving on the Biden's detail when Joe was VP. Or perhaps the finger needs pointing at Anthony Rasputin Burnell, who we're told pushed her to become the first woman Secret Service chief. One who served his obsession with diversity as she proudly prioritized making the agency 30% female by 2030. Sorry, protecting the principles has to be the service's only priority. Under Cheatle's leadership, it botched that job and only prevent an assassination that could have thrown the nation into crisis. she should be gone already. The Post editorial wrote this whole thing. They wrote that whole thing. I'm getting to that right now. So she's not stepping down, but Trump gets in, you know she's gone. You were rude. You didn't do your job. You're incompetent. You're fired. We're going in on that because Danielle, you keep talking about it. So moving it on, as we're talking about the RNC convention, I mentioned the assassination. I want to talk about that. But Joy Reid and Amber Rose have been going back and forth. It started yesterday because Amber Rose, who, and let's be fair, Amber Rose, the Democrats back in 2020 had Get Your Booty to the Polls with strippers twerking. I remember a few years ago in 20, I think it was in 20, it was the same year, 2020, they had Saucy Santana do a rap song, no voting, no blanking. Saucy Santana and Trina, that's who it was. And while they didn't cite a political affiliation, you got the feeling and vibe. I have to balance it out because, yeah, Amber Rose, she did the slut walk. But the Democrats have done no better with this stuff. And so Amber Rose spoke, and she spoke at the convention. I remember she was on College Hill actually last year, and I think her and what's the Hispanic girl, the Puerto Rican chick from Love and Hip Hop? Is it Jocelyn? Didn't they have a fight? They had it out. They had it out. Yeah, Jocelyn Hernandez and Amber Rose. Yeah. That was Jocelyn Hernandez. They had a fight on on Celebrity College Hill. And so Amber spoke at the RNC. It was a hot mess. I remember watching the clip. I didn't watch the show. But she ends up speaking at the RNC. So I'm going to play for y'all what she had to say. So listen in.
Television personality, ex-girlfriend of Kanye West.
But most
She's
importantly,
endorsed
I'm a
Donald Trump.
mother.
Let's listen.
My whole world revolves around providing for my children, keeping them safe, and giving them an opportunity for a better life. That's something that unites all American parents. Whether we're Republicans, Democrats, conservatives, or liberals, we all want a better country for our children. But I'm here tonight to tell you, no matter your political background, that the best chance we have to give our babies a better life is to elect Donald Trump president of the United States. Now, you may be wondering why I'm up here telling you this. I'm no politician and I don't want to be, but I do care about the truth. And the truth is that the media has lied to us about Donald Trump. I know this because for a long time I believed those lies, so I'm here to set the record straight. The first person I knew who supported Donald Trump was my father. I was shocked. My entire family is racially diverse.
Father is white.
And I believed the left-wing propaganda that Donald Trump was a racist. My father said, "No, he's not, Amber. What are you talking about?" And when I insisted, he said, "Prove it." So to prove my father wrong, I did my research and looked into all things Donald Trump. People have to do their research. I watched all the rallies, and I started meeting so many of you, his red hat wearing supporters.
Those red hat wearing supporters actually hate your ass for speaking, but go on. Get to that in a minute.
I realized Donald Trump and his supporters don't care if you're black, white, gay, or straight. It's all love. And that's when it hit me. These are my people. This is where I belong.
It's like, you know, like,
So I let go of my fear of judgment, of being misunderstood, of getting attacked by the left, and I put the red hat on too. Thank you. Love you too. I never felt more free and more love for my country than I do now. I want to thank my father, who's in the audience tonight, for opening my eyes. He served over 20 years in the U.S. military. Thank you for your service, Dad. Where's he at? I love you, Dad. I love you. I love you so much. Thank you. When I met the president and Melania for the first time, he was kind and generous and funny as hell. Very funny. The First Lady was gracious and smart with a smile that will brighten up any room. If you're watching this tonight, you know our country is in trouble, just like me. When you go to the store, buy food for your family, you're shocked. When you fill up your gas tank, you're pissed. I know I am. And when you turn on the news, you are just exhausted. Inflation is out of control. And you know in your heart, it was not like this under Donald Trump. My message to you tonight comes from a humble place. The left told me to hate Trump, and even worse, to hate the other side, the people who support him. When you cut through the lies, you realize the truth. American families were better when Donald Trump was president. We were safer, wealthier, and stronger. A vote for Donald Trump is a vote to put money back in our pockets and good food on our kids' plates. Yes. Or, as Trump would say, it's a vote to make America great again. Thank you so much.
They put a doorknob on the they put a doorknob on the convention, on the stage of the convention to speak. Now, in fairness, the Democrats have Kim K, Amber Rose with the Repubs. All of these roads lead back to who? Kanye West. He's the deciding factor in all of this. This is what this tells me. This is a woman that did the slut walk 10 years ago. I distinctly remember that. She did videos for, I think it was Funny or Die. I don't know if they're still on. I think Funny or Die is that Will Ferrell's thing. She would do videos with that. She did a whole slut walk. Talk about how she sleeps with all these men. That was her. She was married to Wiz Khalifa at one point. They had a son. They break up. She goes off with someone else, has another kid. And they call her an influencer and rapper. I honestly don't know what the hell she's done. I honestly don't know the attraction and appeal of it. She's an attract. Hey, yeah, you look at this photo. This is from 2018. You could say she's cute. She's an attractive woman, but there's some baggage. She's shaped good. She's not a bad-looking woman. She did this slut walk. In support of feminism. Now, I want to show something. So this is who they got to speak. And so the MAGA crowd were even upset that she spoke. They don't think she should have been on. But looks like Trump was happy to have her on. And someone who was not happy was Joy Reid. And so Joy Reid, and I'm not a fan of her. This was like watching I wasn't a fan. I'm not a fan of Joy Reid. Joy Reid is tied to the Democrats. Just like she's a Democratic shield, no doubt. But and look, they even got the same matching haircuts. Well, let's listen to this. So Joy Reid went off. Hold on.
So it's ironic that they were able to recruit this young woman who, she's a racially ambiguous. I don't want to say she's black because she has said she's not. So I don't want to say this black woman, this woman who. So it's ironic that they were able to recruit this young woman who, she's a racially ambiguous. I don't want to say she's black because she has said she's not. So I don't want to say this black woman, this woman who is of whatever race that she has claimed. She said she's not black, but they brought somebody.
I don't know if y'all can hear.
Is based in black culture. She used to be on a show on BET. That's the reason most people know who she is. She dated one of the most prominent African-American rappers in the business in the history of hip-hop. So her whole culture came from black culture, even though she says she's not a black person herself. And the fact that she is now the person they're using to try to recruit young people of color and to say that this is the person who is the endorser of Donald Trump who you should trust, when she won't even claim the culture that brought her to the table. I'm dubious that this will work. I don't know anyone who takes their political cues from Amber Rose, but just in case you do, you might want to duplicate doing your own research because she might not have done it thoroughly. I think when we look at...
Nah. Amber Rose has called herself biracial. She doesn't identify as a black woman, but this was the video from BET.
To me, your mother's. But that's not about you. It's about me. It is about me when I feel like saying what the fuck I want to say. You can't check me on that, and if you're gonna check me, then check me. Okay, I checked you. I'm checking you now. But you now, because I don't give a fuck about how you look. I don't give a fuck about that because I don't say anything about you. So that's about what you consider. That's the whole point. You know what's your problem? Your problem is that you really want to be a white girl. Let's just get down to the point. No, Professor. Let's get down to the point. Your problem is that you really don't even want to be black. She's conflicted with her blackness. See, when I was growing up, I chose to be black. I was born in Puerto Rico, a Spanish-speaking place, so I'm a black Hispanic. But Amber, she don't know how to behave in black places or in white places. She feel like she got to cater to each of them. But I damn sure know that she doesn't cater to nothing black. Wait. No, you want to go there? Let me finish. There she go. Quiet, baby, quiet, baby, quiet, baby. Come on now. No wonder. Oh my gosh. No, y'all. I didn't know if her head got smashed.
So yeah, Joy Reid got into her. And Amber Rose clapped back at her. She actually put a tweet. Amber Rose said she responded to Joy Reid in a tweet. We can read here. She says, according to USA Today, I, Joanne Reid, I have never said I wasn't black. I said I identify as biracial. Same thing. I'm not going to invalidate my white father to make you feel more uncomfortable. Stop being a race baited. Your president does enough race baiting for all of us. Rose wrote in a Tuesday post on X. USA Today reached out to MSNBC reps for comment. Oh, they fighting Who's got the better haircut, Joy Reid or Amber Rose? Which y'all? Man, we know Candace Owens responded. She said that was the highlight of the night for her. Of course, we know also Candace is jealous because she couldn't get up there at the RNC. They canceled her ticket. All that mammying she was doing didn't help her. I blame, all that stuff. She did a whole video. I'll never forget. She did a whole video breaking down why Ahmaud Arbery basically deserved what happened to him. She said it was justified. That's what she was doing. I distinctly remember her doing almost a 30-minute video on that. This ostrich. So that happened. But whose side? That's the question for the day, ladies and gentlemen. Whose side are you on? Are you with Amber Rose? What did you think her speech made? Any sense to you? It didn't to me. It wasn't a surprise, though, that see her there and that they brought her out. They do it all the time. They bring out celebrities. Who can forget Clint Eastwood's infamous chair speech? Let's not also forget they brought The Rock out once. He spoke at the Republican National Convention in late 2004. They brought Schwarzenegger. So it's not uncommon that happens. Who looked better looking like Wesley Snipes in Demolition Man, Amber or Joy? So here's the question: Joy Reid or Amber Heard? Amber Rose. What do y'all think? Not Amber. Well, maybe Amber Heard, since Amber wants to be liked, according to Jocelyn. Let's go ahead. All right. But we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna get to my final topic. So that was Amber Rose and Joy Reid going back and forth. They clapping back at each other. So the next thing I want to get to, final thing, guys, I called this out. The first time I saw it. I told you it was gonna happen. I said he was gonna have to recuse himself. Someone sent me a note. Yeah, Biden spoke I forgot to mention this too. Yeah, Biden spoke at the NAACP at a luncheon with the NAACP earlier today. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but he promised us something when he got elected. He promised us change if reelected. He promised something to black women when he got elected. He said, we had our back. And then when he had that meeting with Mark Morial and Al Sharpton and a few others, he told them, you better deal with the Hispanics. They're going to outnumber you. He talked to those people, and these were men in their 60s. Joe Biden was in his 70s at that time. Most of those men were in their late 50s, early 60s, and he's talking to them like they were kids. He said at the convention in Las Vegas that MAGA officials will undo everything the NAACP stands for. They want to deny you freedom, the freedom to vote and have your vote counted. They impose a nationwide ban on abortion. I'm not being dramatic, but we cannot let that happen. We already have. You already have. And why is this an issue? All of this shit is an issue for the NAACP, abortion. How does that benefit black people in the first place? But I'm not going to spend too much time on it. I don't consider NAACP, especially on a national level, relevant. But I want to talk about is what happened, though. This is relevant and important because getting back to Atlanta, Judge Ural Glanville has been ordered to step down as a trial judge in the Young Thug, it's known as the YSL RICO case. And some attorneys have reacted to this, especially out in Atlanta. And I want you all to pay attention to what's going on. Brian Steele, back when he was held with contempt in June, he filed a motion for recusal to recuse Judge Glanville because Glanville had a secret meeting with the prosecutors and a witness, but did not invite the defense attorneys to be present, which they considered a violation of their client's Sixth Amendment rights. You know, the right to a fair and impartial trial, the right to confront witnesses and have those witnesses that are, I won't say adverse, but in your favor, testify on your behalf, things of that nature. So this is what happened. This is courtesy of ANF, fair use. Let's go ahead and get to that right now. Let's roll this beautiful bean footage. Atlanta child murders. That's all. I told y'all, I said it was going to happen. I said it. I said it was going to happen. You can't go around, judges can't go around doing what the hell they want to do. You are not king. And the issue, and even if you read the judge's ruling, I read part of it in her decision. She spoke highly of Judge Glanville. She said she had no doubt he was a competent judge and he would have ensured a fair and impartial trial. But in order to preserve the issue of I shouldn't say impropriety, but to prevent the appearance of impropriety, preserve the public trust, meaning the public viewing this information, seeing it, because a lot of you all are not trained. Let's just be real. There's nothing wrong against a lot of our people. They watch Law and Order. They think, they watch Harry's Law, which was one of my favorites, or Matlock, thinking they can do this. But you're not licensed to be an attorney. You think you can do it up until the time you're doing trial and you found out you're convicted. Not everybody can do this stuff. But it happened. And so Excuse me. I'm just making sure I get this out. Making sure we get this out. We are live. Make sure y'all sharing this, those that are watching. I know it's getting a little late. Danielle passed her bedtime. But judges have to avoid the appearance of impropriety. And when you have a judge conducting secret meetings, when you have a judge that holds the attorney in contempt for defending his client, doing what he's supposed to do, and objecting to preserve the record, filing motions, that's what you do as a lawyer. That's what you do as a criminal defense attorney. You make sure you preserve the record so that if there are issues such as this at trial that come up, that an appellate court who may not be who likely would be unbiased as what or have someone or appellate court that doesn't have the hands-on approach, hasn't seen the trial and so forth, doesn't have anything to do with it, it's unbiased. They look at it and they make the decision whether or not they think the case should be overturned or not. That's what happened with Bill Cosby. They saw that what occurred by this prosecution's office was impractical, unconstitutional, and unprofessional in what they did to Bill Cosby. And Judge Glanville basically lost the trust by the way he conducted himself. The appearance of impropriety was ruined, was tampered by the way he acted in that courtroom and got Brian Steele locked up on a contempt charge because he was more upset with who leaked the information of the meeting versus him being upset at himself for not bringing Mr. Steele and the other attorneys, defense attorneys in that meeting to avoid the appearance of impropriety. All of this could have been avoided had Glanville just done that. The defense attorney, Brian Steele, was right to bring this up outside the presence of the jury in a motion. He had a right to do this. Without a doubt, without a doubt. Without a doubt. So what happens now is a mistrial will likely be declared and granted, and they'll have to start over again. But I don't see, and I can see, yes, being that it is Fani Willis, let's just imagine, I think that she'll likely go to trial again with it, but let's be honest. Do you all think this is going to hurt Fani Willis? Or it's going to help her, I should say, rather than hurt her? I know it's going to hurt her that she's going to have to try this case again and then start from scratch when they've been doing this for this has been going on almost 2 years. What's going on, CC? This is terrible. Taxpayer money has been wasted on this case. Taxpayer dollars up in Atlanta has been wasted. The Atlanta child murders that took place in the 80s, this didn't have a longest trial. This has outdone that. The trial in the Atlanta child murder started back, the jury selection started in December of 81, and the trial began on January 6th, 1982, and it was on February 27th, 1982, when the jury convicted Wayne Williams for the 2 murders. Though a lot of people who, I know that Dick Gregory, I spoke with him before once, that think that Wayne Williams was set up that he was innocent. But I don't know too much about it. But yeah, this trial has actually outpaced this. It's outpaced that case, the Atlanta child murders. And so now we're talking about a case, a RICO case that on stuff. I don't know if they're going to be able to get them on these charges. You're going to have to show a conspiracy. You're going to have to show intent. You're going to have to show the crimes that were committed, proving that this person wasn't running the RICO, was running the game, and ordered it. And those witnesses, that witness they had up there, he wasn't cooperative. So you think the jury's going to be paying attention? You think jury's going to want to serve on this case? What's going on, CC? Finally screwed up. We got 2 votes in. I gotta look at my poll. I said, who rocked the Wesley Snipes look from Demolition Man better? I said Joy or Amber, and it's split. 2 people say, one says Joy and one says Amber. I say neither. I told you I was past Danielle's bedtime. She said she's about to go to bed. I'm about to wrap it up too. I've been on here longer than what I thought I was going to be. Didn't think I was going to make it. I wasn't feeling that great, y'all. Pipe Dream says Joy. Remember that movie Demolition Man? For the land of the free and the home of the brave. Simon Phoenix. Okay, 67% say Joy. But yeah, Judge Glanville, yeah, he could have solved all of this if he had the meeting. If it wasn't ex parte meetings, one party outside off the record. If it was both of them, they would have just been able to. It was both of them. They wouldn't have been able to claim anything. But he basically helped by doing that. He helped Young Thug's case. Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up. But no, I'm gonna get a copyright strike if I show it. But go and look it up on YouTube. Wait, hold on. I can show it still. I won't show the video, but yeah, this was it. We could superimpose Joy Reid's face on that. Yeah. All right, y'all. We're gonna wrap this thing up. I'm gonna get out of here, but it's been an exciting edition of Random Topic Tuesdays. We'll be back hopefully with Sean Thursday. So y'all be safe and be blessed, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm exhausted. So be one, be safe, and be blessed. Peace. All right. I'll holla. Good night.